always go back and, you get a song or something and you say, oh, well, this would be excellent for that person. And you can go and get the person for whom that song is excellent. That's great. Think about that. We might have to get together and have you come back and just do a class session on collaborating.
That would be a lot of fun.
I agree, great. And we've had some great people on here. We've had producers, record label execs. We had just a couple of months ago. We had a video producer on. So it's something to think about. We should talk about that after the first of the year. John Bon Jovial, I know you. I know you're sitting there quietly wishing that I would shut up so you could get in and ask a question.
Well, thank you, David. My question, I've been trying to put my finger on this song that we just listened to, Circles, and trying to think to myself, well, where have I heard this style before? And I'm drawing a blank, and which actually I think is a great thing, because this is so original. What you're doing, you have a very sultry quality to your voice and the way that you handle the lyrics. That I think.
Thank you.
Oh, I mean, the closest thing that I could think of would be Joni Mitchell in her later years, but it's that's not quite it though. It's different, and it's something. It's the kind of style that I think I could listen to a lot, quite a bit, and.
That's awesome. That's so great to hear.
Oh, I really like it. Mikalyn, you've done just such a wonderful job on this song.
I see where you're drawing the slight comparison to Joni Mitchell, but I think it's a little more commercial than what she normally does, and it's got a haunting atmosphere. It's got an undercurrent of, what's going on behind the scenes here. What are they not? What is she not saying?
Yeah, that's another good way to describe it. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and the producer that produced that song, he's actually also a co-writer on it, and his name is Ian Smith. He lives near me, so that's really great because I'm usually out there once a week, and we're really in an experimental state right now. Like, we're writing songs that are all generally like alike, but also like very different stylistically for me and from what I'm used to. So it's a lot of fun writing with him, and he also, there's so much like behind the scenes that goes into his production. Like last night, for example, I got 3 separate emails from him on a song that we've been working on, a demo, and one was at like 11 o'clock at night, one was at like 2, and then another one was at 4, and it was just like slight changes every time, but things he had added in. He was like, I can't sleep tonight, so I made like 3 different versions of Collapse, and here they are.
Well, speaking of experimentation and new tracks, we're going to be listening to one of those in just a few minutes here in its pre-release form, and that's something the listeners can look forward to, so stand by for that. But, I agree, and it is nice that you have a producer that's close enough that you can reach out to him, and, maybe not 2 o'clock in the morning, but I can relate because I got a very short night last night too, so if I sound like I'm half asleep, that's why. But
all good.
Tell us before we move into the closing part of the segment, be sure and remind the listeners now where and how they can find you online to get more of your music, to buy it, and communicate with you.
Yeah. So I kind of have a weird name. It's Mikalyn, and it's spelled Mikalyn. But since my name is weird, I can use it as like a username for like anything, and there's not many other people that have it. So all of my social medias are Mikalyn Music, and my website is www.mikalynmusic.com.
And I know exactly what you're saying. As I alluded to a little earlier, I did mess up your name, I think, the last time you were on the show. And the thing I find unusual about it is the placement of the Y. If it were Mikaylyn or something like that, you just normally say Mikalyn. But
yeah, a lot of people think it's like Mikaylyn, which would make sense.
Right.
Or Aylyn, so 2 Ys, but I don't know. I have no idea why my parents chose to write it that way, honestly.
Nothing wrong. It's unique, which is fine, and it is a talking point for you, too. So I'm sure it's opened up some doors to some conversations along the way.
If I may interject
actually,
on that
yeah.
for a second,
By all means.
I think it's a beautiful name. It's
Thank you.
unique, it's unusual, and it's a beautiful name. It really is.
Thank you so much.
I agree.
It comes in handy just because I have 2 Spotify accounts, and one of them is for EDM music more and like more commercial releases, and that one I just go by Mikalyn, but my last name is Hay. So for the other account where I post more of like my older stuff and like my first releases, it's Mikalyn Hay, not like it has the last name. So it's funny to see the difference in followers for the one account to the other, just because one of them is more commercial, and I guess I'm like sort of an EDM artist in Brazil. So Mikalyn is the EDM account.
I remember that.
Yeah, and then
before we
Mikalyn
run
Hay
out
is
of time,
me.
before we run out of time here, I want to give you 30 seconds to talk up and tell us about this pre-release of the song called Gravity.
Yes. Okay. So this one I wrote with, I'm going to use their stage names, Extra Kid and F51, and we wrote it at F51's house, and it was a lot of fun to write. Like, I had no idea what it was going to be going into it. They had the track already, and they're doing like a joint project. So this is one of their upcoming releases. They have some other songs out right now for the same project, and all those songs are absolutely amazing. So it was a lot of fun writing with them. I worked with them for years now, the main producer. That's Extra Kid, and so it was great being able to collaborate on his personal project.
Fantastic, Luna. Thank you so much for stopping by once again, ladies and gentlemen. Mikalyn and Gravity.
Signs I leave behind for you to find.
And there you have it. That is a new release that's not out yet. You just got the first sneak preview of it before anybody else in the world, and you heard it right here on the David Bowers Awards. Don't you ever forget it. Thank you so much for coming and spending another hour with us. We hope to see you back here again next week. John Bon Jovial, take us home.
Okay. Hey, folks, you did it again. You spent another hour with us here at the David Bowers Awards, and we are eternally grateful for your participation. The David Bowers Awards is broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and, of course, from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona. And we are available for free on Blog Talk Radio. You can find us on the Anchor FM app for the iOS platform and the Android platform, and also Apple Podcasts, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa devices, and SoundCloud and Mixcloud, TuneIn Radio app as well. And now, this is really cool, we are proud to be carried on the Cuyahoga Valley Radio Network in Ohio on Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern, as well as on the Live 365 app. Click the follow link on our Blog Talk Radio page, and be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. Join us next week for the David Bowers Awards, Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ-FM. That's 106.3 on the FM radio dial in Rochester, New York, otherwise known as Rochester Free Radio, and Blog Talk Radio, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. UTC for more great indie music and talk with the artists that make it happen. So until next week, for the David Bowers and Nick, our marvelously geeky engineer, I am yours truly, the lovably legendary John Bon Jovial, saying be sure to love each other, and we will see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.